On this week's show, Logan Aldridge, new strength instructor, is now on the platform.
Plus, the Just Work Out feature is now available for everyone on the iOS app, and much, much more.
Welcome to Pelo Buddy TV, a show for the Peloton community by the Peloton community. Here are your hosts, Amanda Siegel and John Pruitt.
Welcome to episode 85 of Pelo Buddy TV, a show for the Peloton community by the Peloton community. I'm Amanda Siegel, and I'm joined by my co-host, John Pruitt. Hey, John.
Hey now. How's it going, Amanda?
It's all good. It's good. Another week flying by. It's just absolutely insane how quickly these weeks are going. I mean, we are now into summer, we can officially say, huh? June is here.
June. School is almost out for my boy. And this week especially went by quick because of Memorial Day, but also for us 9-to-5 job folk that aren't yet retired. It went by quick. For the folks that still
all right,
work,
I'm still questioning that. I'm still questioning that 9-to-5 bet, John Pruitt. I mean, maybe like a 10 to 11, a 6 to 7.
You're not alone. You're not alone.
You know what, boo? You make it work. However you make it work, I all the more power to you. For you to be able to do everything, I admire you. So huge kudos to you. Huge kudos. But yeah, there is stuff to chat about. So why don't we get right into it? Before folks, though, we start the news, we always like to remind you how you can keep up to date with all of our content across all of our platforms. Every episode is released on our YouTube channel. So if you'd like to see our beautiful mugs, then just go ahead and hit the subscribe button in the bottom right-hand side of the video and hit the notify button so that you never miss an episode.
And if you just want to listen to us, I will not hold it against you. We're on all traditional podcast platforms. Just search Pelo Buddy TV. Be sure to hit subscribe, click notifications so you never miss an episode, and leave us a review. We love to read the positive reviews, as well as the negative ones from the haters. Shout out to the haters as well. But we always love to hear how we're doing and how we can improve the show. And we love to get your feedback, and also, we do this for fun. This is an ad-free Pelo Buddy experience, so always looking to add different, tweak different things, and see how we can change things up for the better.
And we certainly do like your reviews, whether they're good or bad. And the bad we try and fix, which we've certainly done in making sure that the sound is coming to you better, making sure that we do things properly. So we really do appreciate it. And of course, folks, finally, we are on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Just search Pelo Buddy and follow us on those platforms to make sure that you get all the latest news. But now, John, let's get on with the show.
All right.
First, let's do a rundown of the latest Pelo news.
Well, to kick off today's show, we are very excited to officially welcome new strength instructor Logan Aldridge to the Peloton platform. Logan had his premiere class on Wednesday, June 1st, with a 20-minute full body class. Back, folks, in late 2021, we had shared that Logan was consulting with Peloton, and we were just waiting for when he would be launched. They had said it was June, and they kept their word. He, in fact, did launch as new strength instructor on the platform on the 1st. He is Peloton's first adaptive training instructor. If you want to learn more about Logan, Peloton has actually published a blog post featuring an interview with him. He does chat about his adaptive training experience and his approach to fitness. His signature quote, which I absolutely love, "Tell me I can't, and I will." And of course, The English understand me, but can't for the Americans. But on Thursday morning, we also got to see an adaptive training collection being dropped. There were 6 classes dropped on demand. There are 2 10-minute warm-ups, 1 seated and 1 standing, and 4 20-minute classes, 2 seated, 1 body weight and 1 full body, and 2 standing, 1 body weight and full body. Something we also wanted to mention is that at the start of each class, he actually gives an audio description of where he is and what he's wearing. This is certainly something new on the platform and, would be important for those that are visually impaired. It will be interesting, I think, to see if other instructors start to do more of this as well. But John, I did not get to take his classes yet. I've heard amazing reviews on the platform. There are certainly tons of, rumbling going on of folks saying that his energy is infectious, amazing personality, and looking forward to, jumping into some strength certainly with him.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to either, but hopefully by the time this episode comes out on Sunday, I will have hopefully taken at least one, hopefully his debut, his premiere strength class. I've seen snippets and clips here, but I haven't actually looked at, I haven't pulled it up to really kind of preview.
Right. Yeah. So I think it'll be good to see.
Well, this past week, Amanda, we just recently noticed that the Just Work Out feature on the iOS app is now available, it looks like, to most, if not all, users on the app for iOS. This is as of June 1st, it appears. I've had it for, a while when it was still listed as beta. I don't even know if it's still listed at beta at the top of the screen on my iPhone, but
it is. I have seen that it is still listed as beta. Yeah.
And they also have a special now where you buy one for new app users. You buy 1 month of the subscription, you get 2 months free. So essentially, it's $12.99 for 3 months worth of access on the app. It's the summer pass to the Peloton app. It's available now through June 30th. And you can sign up on onepeloton.com, the Apple App Store, or the Google Play Store. It is not available, though, if you're an existing member as of May 31st. You're not eligible for this offer. So if you already have an app subscription before May 31st.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good until the end of this month. And it looks like it's in all regions. US, UK, in Australia, and Canada, and Germany.
Yeah, that sounds great. All right, John. And then this past week, we actually became aware that Peloton has subtly debuted a new look in the Strength Studio. Last Saturday, May 28th, it was noticed during Callie Gullickson's strength class that the platform is now a darker circular round instead of that wood that was there previously. Sunday's Total Strength with Andy Spear also showed that new same platform. So as we know, and you folks probably remember, that Peloton had closed the studio last Friday for some maintenance, and it's actually been happening quite frequently over the past few weeks. But the Thursday before, the platform was still that wood, and then, of course, on Sunday, it was the new circular darker color. So that's definitely something that they must have done on Friday when they closed the studio. We also saw, I would say that it's safe to assume that we will probably expect to see more changes. Maybe some will be slight, maybe some will be a little bit more drastic, as they do plan to prepare the studio for opening to the public for the first time. So that's all getting very exciting. As we mentioned in last week's show, they have the press coming this upcoming week on Friday the 10th. They are opening it up to invited guests. Still haven't gotten my invitation in the mail. I would definitely have heard if you had, John, so I'm assuming you haven't either. We're not those special guests. They bloody fools, since we could be putting all of this in the show. I mean, come on, Peloton. I know you're watching. But again, they, preparing obviously for the soft opening next week, and then hopefully the opening to all of us live in August, from what we are assuming. And then, folks, talking about strength, for those of you that were anxious to get those Floor Bootcamp classes done, they're now unlocked from the guide and are available to all members. So if you haven't taken the classes already, through the links on pelobuddy.com, because we always do kind of give you that insight into how you can do that before it gets released. But if you want to get that official badge credit, head over to the programs to start working out on those Floor Bootcamp classes. I have not attempted to do them yet. I am just getting into my tread boot camps. I will have to figure out how I incorporate some Floor Bootcamps in there as well. But I know that Jess Sims and Selena did a 2-for-1, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct, John?
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause I posted a funny moment from that not too long ago.
Did you? I missed that. All right.
Yeah.
So fun. So that's another modality that you can get yourself into. So for folks that are looking for something different to do, there is always something that is coming out of the studio.
Yeah, and it sounds like rep counting could possibly be a feature that's eventually added to the guide. So back over homecoming weekend, there was a panel called Get to Know Guide with Callie Gullickson and Andy Spear. And they sat down with Ben Schultz, who is a director of product management for Peloton, and a member named Amy, whose leaderboard is Sweaty Mom of 4, joined them for that little panel. And when discussing the future of Peloton Guide, some of the features, Ben Schultz shed some light on where the guide is headed. And we have on pelobuddy.com, we have a little 1-minute clip segment of when he's speaking about it in this particular instance, about just a minute long. But he basically says the directions that we want to head in Guide are really expanding the feature to make it more accurate, make more movements compatible with it. They don't actually mention rep counting, but it has been a top requested features for members since the guide launched back in April. This would be an obvious additional way to give members credit for their movement, as Ben alluded to. Currently, the guide movement tracker gives members credit for following the class plan. It doesn't count reps or check form. It only examines whether or not you're doing the movement that the instructor calls out. So I'm sure they are, actively, getting ready to implement new features or, in development that they want to add to make it a little more robust. And I know when it initially came out, a lot of people, that was one of the biggest gripes about it, that it didn't have like rep counting, like Mirror and Tonal have that feature, currently. Yeah, and so Amanda, we have a new class type that just happened, that just was added to the platform this past Wednesday night. A new ride type called Low Impact and Arms. And Tunde kicked off this new class. It was a 30-minute low impact plus arms ride on June 1st. She posted on Instagram about it and said, no intervals, just good music, a somewhat chill ride, and then a pause for an arm burner, then more somewhat chill riding. So I know, it seems like, I don't know if you've noticed this on rides, but back a couple years ago, there used to always be an arms segment. You could always depend on an arms segment, at least always in a 45-minute or longer ride. And it seems like they've gotten away. Most instructors do not do arms unless it's a class labeled intervals and arms, or a strength 10-minute arms and light weights. So this is kind of nice, because I always kind of liked the arm segment because it gave me a little break from pedaling so hard, and then you could do, get your upper body pump in.
Yeah. yeah. I remember Jen Sherman used to do that a lot. And I always used to be surprised because didn't say intervals and arms, or it didn't say anything about arms, and she would throw in arms. I was like, oh, I didn't expect that. So yeah, that's definitely something that I had noticed, and I haven't seen that happening lately. So that'll be nice. I think low impact on arms is nice because then you're not pushing yourself, because you're always trying to get that your output to where you want it to be, where you typically see it in a ride. So it'll be a different way to do a ride. I like that a lot. I do like that a lot.
Definitely.
All right. And for all our UK folks out there, Thursday, June 2nd marked the official kickoff of the Queen's Platinum Jubilee celebrations. But Peloton's studios in London were actually closed for live production on Friday, the 3rd of June. So there were some special classes that were dropped for members to come together and celebrate this absolutely historic milestone in the United Kingdom. We got to see Bradley Rose give us a 20-minute Jubilee celebration ride. Susie Chan had a 20-minute run, and Ben Aldis a 10-minute core strength, all dropping on demand on Friday. And then, folks, talking about the UK community, the Leanne's Yes to You crew were very much a buzz this past Wednesday, with Leanne's first live ride back at 7:30 a.m. British time with a hit and heels. I mean, seriously. But Leanne did thank the community for all of the support while she was off for the month of May. We also saw Leanne back on social media, and she posted a beautiful post outside of the London studio saying hi and how nice it was to be back. So I know that the Yes to You community were very excited to have her back. Unfortunately, with the Jubilee and then other scheduling stuff, she was kind of back and then everybody was off. So looking forward to getting that schedule back in and moving forward. So huge excitement, and we're thrilled to have her back on the platform and getting ready to work out with her again. So that was awesome.
And you got up and rode at 2:30 a.m., didn't you?
I did. I wasn't missing
you stayed
that.
Up. You stayed up.
No, I did get up. You know what? No,
you went to
I
bed?
actually went to sleep. I did. I slept for a couple hours, set my alarm, got up, oh my goodness, it is my pick of the week. I mean, how could it not be? So it is my pick of the week. It was my 2,200th ride, which just very conveniently fell on her return. I guess I've been doing a lot of running and walking lately, and it was magical. I wouldn't, you know what, I got to tell you, John, there are not many people I would do that at 2:30. And you know what, I have to be honest, I find it much easier to ride at that time than I would be to do a run. So I have pre-warned John Husking that I will not be getting up at 2:30 to do a run with him. But I did get up.
I noticed, the schedule. A lot of you listening and watching might have noticed just random classes, different times on the schedule this past week. I noticed there's now runs at 6 a.m. Eastern time. My body, I can't handle a run that early. I mean, I used to run at
I've done it
with Maddie.
I've done it with John on Saturday mornings. I do get up at 5:30 and I run with him at 6. A lot of the time it's been walks, so it hasn't been too bad. So a walk isn't, nearly as bad as a run. And typically what he'll do is he'll do a 20-minute walk and then a 20-minute run, which I just did this past Saturday, which was fantastic. But it is harder. Yeah, that's not bad. It is hard. And then your body's kind of warmed up from the walk to then get into the run, which makes it a little bit easier. So yeah. All right, next up.
How many people were on that Leanne ride at 2:30 a.m. Eastern time?
So it was 2:30 Eastern, 7:30 UK, and there were about 700, which was pretty amazing for a she doesn't usually get that. She doesn't usually get that many, and she did an amazing job with all of the milestones. And I know that I had my entire crew. I mean, I have a group chat with a group of girls, and we were all on there for that. From East Coast, West Coast, UK, Germany, we were all on there for that ride. Wasn't missing it for anything. And I'm certainly glad that I didn't. So it was really good.
Nice. Well, we have a challenge back. Robin Arzon has brought her 3 for 31 challenge back for the month of June. This is not an official Peloton challenge. You don't have to opt in anywhere on the app or on your bike or tread. It's very simple. It's more self-accountability. But it's 3 miles on foot, walking, jogging, or running, or 30 minutes of movement every day in June. That's it. No rules. Goes to the end of July 1st. And, you can post, you can track about it, on social media, but pretty straightforward.
Awesome. And then Wednesday, June 2nd, marked Global Running Day. And truthfully, a year ago, I would have had no damn clue that there was even a Global Running Day. But now that I'm a runner, we got to see Global Running Day, and we actually saw a drop of a new 2-for-1 with both Matt Wilpers and Justin Thompson rule. That class can be found in the outdoor content on the platform. So that was cool to see as well.
Yeah, and speaking of outdoor classes, we have a new Flash Challenge. The Get Out and Move Challenge with the outdoor collection is now going on. So what it is, you take 24 classes from the outdoor category or the Get Out and Move collection over the next 3 months. So it's running from June 2nd to August 31st. So there's tons to choose from across the bar, cardio, meditation, Pilates, strength, and yoga collections. But that one, you can opt in, on the app under challenges, and then, go to all the different various collections there.
Yeah, they're definitely pushing that outdoor content and wanting folks to get out there. I mean, certainly now with the Just Walk, Just Run option and all the new audio content. I know John Husking mentioned to me that there was something cool coming. What did he tell me? There was something that he was dropping in the next week, outdoor content as well. So there's definitely a lot of them, German instructors, UK instructors, American instructors, all are dropping stuff in that outdoor section. So there's tons to do on there. There's tons to do.
Wow.
And all right. So for anybody that is still considering trading in your old bike and trading up for a new Bike Plus, a suggestion, it may be best to just go ahead and sell your old bike on your own, because Peloton have actually put a pause on the trade-in with the $700 rebate. So for those of you that remember, when they brought out the Bike Plus, you were able to trade in your old bike and get $700 back. As of June 1st, anybody that was looking at trading up was told by customer service support that that program is on pause. We don't have any official word yet on when or if it will return, but it has been removed from the checkout page online as well. So if you are considering doing it, put your bike on Facebook Marketplace and have them see if anybody does any biting there, or certainly on the official Peloton page. But they've put that option on pause.
Yeah, and in all honesty, you could get a lot more than $700 for most folks that want to sell their bike on the secondary market. It's still it's not as hot a commodity, I guess. Now supplies are better. But the resale value is still pretty decent on the latest generation bikes.
Yeah.
Well, we had a new summer apparel collection drop this past week. There's also some nice Dream Blend pieces. I did not personally get any. I haven't really been on a big, I haven't had like a big apparel bug lately. Nothing really that I've had much of an affinity for. I don't know if you picked up a couple pieces from this recent one.
Yeah, I actually must say I've been getting a couple things on sale. So there were a couple things that I've been purchasing on sale from the new collection. There was a peachy colored set, top and bottom, that I really liked. I haven't purchased it yet. I'm trying to think whether I'm just going to wait for sales now, because I have just spent so much that and I'm all out of my referrals. I know you kind of dug in there that you still have some left over. I'm all out. So it's all out of pocket now for me. So I'm being very exclusive in what I'm picking. And of course, I want everything, but I have been a little bit more exclusive in picking what I purchase.
Yeah. Well, Peloton has partnered with Chase Bank to offer 3 events to celebrate the launch of this summer apparel collection. The events are exclusively for Chase Sapphire Reserve credit card holders. So you have to have that specific Chase credit card, but it will feature a virtual appearance from a Peloton instructor. The events are called Peloton Apparel's Summer Launch Party and Member Meetup. They're going to be held in Los Angeles, New York City, and Washington, D.C. And the event description reads, take a break from your workouts for an exclusive card member meetup to privately shop Peloton Apparel's latest collection. Members will have an opportunity to meet other Peloton members, have their apparel personalized by a local artist, and to virtually chat with an instructor. Camila Ramon, she's going to be speaking at the Los Angeles event. Rad Lopez, he'll be speaking at the New York City event, and Marcel Dinkins will speak at the DC event, which all took place on Thursday, June 2nd.
Yeah, I was just going to say it did take place this past Thursday, and I actually tried to see if I could get into the DC one. I am a Chase card holder, but not a Sapphire, and I was bummed because it only gave you access if you were a Sapphire. I have the Mileage Plus program with Chase and not the United. My card with Chase is with United Airlines. And I was so bummed because I would have absolutely have gone out to Tyson's Corner where the event was held on Thursday to have gone just to kind of see other folks. I think you said it was just virtual, right? The instructors weren't actually going to be there. They were just going to be there virtually. So, but that could have been fun. I mean, that certainly could have been a fun event. So I'm bummed that I didn't get. If anybody went, if anyone's listening to the show, and if anybody went, definitely let us know. And if you have any pictures of, people together, send them in to us, and we'll certainly feature them next week on the show. But it's, I know New York was sold out. I had seen that New York was completely sold out. So although there wasn't a cost for the event, John, if I'm not mistaken, right?
It is, yeah.
I don't
the events
think
are free.
It was free. Yeah, but it was sold out. So they obviously had a limited number of tickets that they were offering. So I almost was tempted to kind of just go past Tyson's Corner and see, but there was a terrible storm on Thursday. So I decided to bags the idea.
I'll be curious to see. I'll be curious to see once folks start posting on social what sort of personalization they had of their apparel by the local artists that they, just put in this event description.
I know, that could have been kind of cool. Definitely something they should look at doing with other, other collaborations. Could be fun. And and that pretty much wraps up the news portion of the show. We are going to go straight into Instructor in the News. And I will kick it off. Last week, I had alluded in the show to the nuptials of Christine de Urkelay and her longtime partner, Brian. And of course, the wedding did take place last weekend. So when we recorded last week, it was kind of happening, but we didn't have many details. We did want to share. Exactly. We did want to share this week and certainly send out another huge congratulations to both of them. It was in true Christine fashion, right? I mean, they had like a top hat and tails kind of theme. I loved how everybody was dressed up. I love how the instructors share with everybody on social. It's so lovely to see the camaraderie and the friendships and just the wonderful relationship that the instructors have. I know we've spoken about this when Selena got married and others, that you always kind of wonder who gets the nod and who doesn't. And interestingly enough, a lot of the newer instructors are actually attending these events, and those some folks, aren't there. But it was lovely to see everybody dressed up and having fun. Christine's gown was very interesting. I thought it was such a cool concept in what she did. So for those that hadn't seen any pictures of her dress when she walked down the aisle was white and beautiful. But when she got to the party, it kind of flipped open and there was blue tulle that you could see. So there was something just very different. So something, something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue. And I loved the fact that she had done it that way. Her daughter obviously walked down the aisle too, and she had blue in her outfit that she was wearing. But they looked amazing. I thought it was so much fun. The best part about it was they had somebody come in and perform on a bicycle and do kind of tricks on a bicycle, which was very, such a cool concept considering they're all cycling instructors, or at least most of them are. So that was something fun that I got to see. Was there anything that you particularly caught your attention?
So I was trying to remember the actual theme of it because Rebecca Kennedy, before the start of one of her classes this past week, she said that when Christine sent out the invitation, she said the theme was steampunk and I can't remember the other aspect, theater and top hats, something like steampunk and...
Something like that.
Yeah, combined. So you saw a lot of interesting lacy outfits and, the men in tails and top hats. But yeah, I mean, Andy and Rebecca, they went all out in their, outfits. I remember that. It looked like it was in the city somewhere, at a big venue, like a big hall. And I saw most of the instructors there. It looks like most of them attended. I noticed Cody was not there. He was in Vegas for a quick trip to see Katy Perry. Jen Sherman was not there, but she had just been under the weather for a little bit. So she had just returned back to the studio this past week to teach live. But no, it was fun to go through the social media. And yeah, and that bike performer was really fun, seeing her do circles I guess it was on the dance floor, spinning around.
Right. And then I also loved how at the end, I guess at midnight, they all got together and wished Jess King a happy birthday. So that was very sweet. And they sang to Jess. Christine certainly made a fuss over her, so that was kind of cool. And then kind of to follow on to that, they all got together the next day and celebrated Jess's birthday in the park in Brooklyn. And it was, again, so lovely to see them. They really are such a close, tight-knit family. It's just fantastic to see. I mean, I've certainly worked, been in an environment, in a work environment where I've been friendly with some people, but not to the extent that they literally do everything together. Everything together. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's nice to see the camaraderie there is real.
All right, what's up next? I guess. All right, so
Kendall sat down with Carson Daly this past week in an interview that was recorded, but it was shown on Friday's June 3rd episode of the Today Show. And it was done from Peloton Studios, New York, and Kendall shared a lot more detailed parts about her personal mental health journal with Carson, and also gave him a little tour of some parts of the new studio, which was fun. So we'll have I'm sure we'll have the clip up to it or a link to it on Pelo Buddy once this episode comes out. But Kendall did post a little snippet of the interview on her Instagram on Thursday, June 2nd. But yeah, by now, by the time you're listening or watching this episode, you might have already caught the segment, or you can I'm sure it'll be available for replay. It'll be all over social media by this point.
And of course, we all know that Carson is a big Peloton member. So I'm sure that was fun for him to be involved and part of that. I think most of the, and it was a Today Show. I think it's Good Morning America. I think it's Good Morning.
No.
I think
No,
Carson's
Good
with
Morning America
Today
is-
Show. Okay.
Yeah. Today Show is NBC. That's what Carson and Al
Okay.
Roker.
Okay.
Good Morning America
Got
is
it.
ABC.
With Michael Strahan. And yeah, of course. Okay.
That's
Good.
GMA.
All right.
Yeah.
Yep. Good. And then
What else we got?
lastly, folks, Selena Samuela had some news to share. And about the time you get to hear this or watch the show, the news will be out. But at time of recording, all she said in her Thursday class was, make sure you're there on Sunday because I have some news to share. So no speculations. We're excited to hear what the news is going to be. Unfortunately, the class is only at 1:00 today. So by the time we obviously filmed this, there was no news. But next week, we will be sure to share whatever her wonderful news is. So we're looking forward to hearing what that is. And I guess that takes us right into Picks of the Week.
All right.
And we are going to go with the same format that we had last week. I think that served everybody really well. Everybody liked how we did it. So, John, do you want to go ahead? All right, you know what? I'll go ahead and kick this week's off. And let's go. So the glasses come on so I can read, make sure I don't mispronounce anybody's leaderboard names. But first up, Kara Michelle, week 2 classes from Path of Inversions. And she got a huge shout out from her Kiara's Koalas. Finishing off the second week of Kira's new program was fantastic. And huge hats off to anybody doing that program, because that is something that I aspire to get to do one day. But at my beginner level entry of yoga, I am not even remotely able to do anything like that. But that was a nice shout out for Kira Michelle.
Is Kira Australian?
She is. She is Australian.
Okay, that's the first time I've heard of her instructor fan group.
Fan page. Yeah,
Fan page
Kira's
koala.
Koalas.
So obviously I figured, probably Australian, but I didn't know what her fan group was called. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, the next one, we had a few different members submit Jess Sims' 30-minute bike bootcamp from May 26. Tara Abel, Kristen McHale-1, and CDJ said it was a very efficient workout, awesome playlist, and best bang for your buck in 30 minutes. Imam, more like AMRAPs.
Typical Jess Sims, for sure, right? Definitely.
Yep.
All right, and I'll have you go ahead and do next ones.
I'll take this next one because this is mine. And I didn't see, I guess no one else submitted it, but Jen Sherman's 15-minute 80s ride from the week prior, Thursday, May 26th. So this was the class, the second of her 2 classes that day. I couldn't make the first one because we were recording the episode 84. But it's a 15-minute 80s ride, and it was just a super fun playlist. It went by so quick, and it's just one of those classes where you wish it was a lot longer because it's over before you know it. But she kicked it off with Men at Work. She played REO Speedwagon, Take It on the Run, Belinda Carlisle, Rick Springfield, and then appropriately she ended it with a little homage, I don't know, knowingly or unknowingly, to Top Gun with Berlin's Take My Breath Away. So just a super fun, a great class if you want to do on its own, or tack it on with another, a 30-minute or a 20-minute ride if you're stacking.
Awesome. And Emily Twist gave a huge shout out to Bradley Rose, his 20-minute pup ride from the 27th of May. It was a 5:30 a.m. Eastern time class, but they said, turned my frown upside down. He's a delight. And I second that. Bradley is definitely up there as one of my top faves right now, for sure. His classes are fantastic.
And then SJ Enders submitted Tunde's 45-minute intervals and arms ride from May 28th. They said it was brutal, but in a good way. It was one of her first classes on the bike after her 4-week book tour. I loved every second of this class.
Awesome. And Fresh Simba suggested Alex Toussaint's 30-minute Club Bangers ride from the 28th. It was at 1:30 p.m. on Saturday. It's a feel-good ride all the way. So thanks for that submission.
And then Daisy Mack and JK Spins for Sugar gave us Kirsten Ferguson's 60-minute walk plus run from May 29th. They said, intention setting, run/walk, they're incredible. Every song aligns to a specific intention. So powerful. Her words, her message, thought-provoking. It's like a meditation combined with a life coach who teaches running, running trifecta. And great playlist and affirmations per usual made this class fly by. Highly recommend. Kirsten is such an inspiration. So high praises for that one.
Awesome. And go ahead and take the next one.
So this is mine. So I'm pretty sure this is my very first Thunder 45 that I've done, at least live, with Adrian Williams, since Jen Sherman was off the schedule last Sunday morning. I had the chance to change it up, and I decided to I always do Adrian's Friday or Thursday tread boot camp, but the Thunder 45 takes it to a whole nother level in terms of difficulty and intensity. And it was a killer. It was brutal. I don't know if I'll ever do another one again, to be honest. It was so hard. But
oh my goodness.
Just to give you an example, like the run segments, normally, you run for like 30 seconds. There were like 3-minute runs. I was like, God, when are we gonna slow it down and go back to a jog or a walk? So it's just much, the length of intensity and difficulty is just stretched out. But it was tough. It was really hard. So, but I love him for that. He's like my Alex for the tread. He's so tough because Alex makes me work really hard on the bike. But Adrian, man, his classes are killer. But it was great. And I'll do it eventually again, I'm sure, once I've recovered. Yes, and he's very handsome. He's very
oh my God! Did you read my mind? Was it like all over my face? I did a core of his. Vibes. Yeah, I did a core of his in between my run and my walk on Saturday with John, and I got to start doing a lot more with him. I think he's finally going to get me into strength, because that dude is so frigging hot. It is just insane. And I had tagged him, and he actually responded to me, which was really nice. So it was the first time I'd had any interaction with him, and I was like, all right, you're in my wheelhouse now. Let's go.
He's got just got a really smooth swagger about him that's very infectious. So I can understand why the ladies are such big fans of him, because he's just got that great personality. So I think that really
amazing. And that smile. I mean, that smile, you can just die.
Yeah,
totally.
That too.
All right, next up, moving on. Melissa I'm going to butcher this one. So Melissa Medeiros and the twins' mom both recommended Camilla Roman's 20-minute reggaeton ride, also from Sunday. It was at 10:05 a.m. Eastern. They said a real burner this week, and I loved it. She's a great motivator, and the music got you moving.
And Kev PR82, Code Blue 6, and Kylie Fogg recommended Marcel Dinkins' 45-minute hike from May 29th. They said very powerful class. She was so vulnerable. It had a gospel soundtrack.
Good stuff. And then Our girl, Zag's fangirl. So Nicole had recommended Marina Fernandez's 30-minute Disney yoga flow, also from Sunday. It was at 1 p.m. Eastern. And Nicole said, Mariana connected my emotions to the moves and music. This class was lovely. And Nicole and I actually chatted about it, and it is bookmarked for this weekend to do. So I am really excited to do it. She said it was really easy. You could do it as you wanted. And she doesn't have many English classes, but it was nice that this one was English. So I can't wait to do it. So thank you for that recommendation. Zag's fangirl.
And Spin Loving Mama recommended Sam Yo's 15-minute hit ride for May 30th. She said it was Sam's usual perfect coaching for a quick and challenging class.
Yeah, those 15 minutes can kill you. Next up, it is spelled Sean, Sean. They recommended a 30-minute morning slow flow from Kristen McGee. It was from Monday, the 31st, 10 a.m. Eastern. The sequence for the purpose of the class made real sense, and each of the poses really did well to prep you for the next one as you went on. But each pose had something that got you ready for the next one, both physically and mentally. So even something, and bear with me because there's a lot here, and even something like a half moon, oh, I'm so sorry, folks, for a half moon was able to get us ready and set up for tree pose. And at the same time, when you got into tree, there was a sense of, okay, I've already done the skill needed in half moon and I'm warmed up for it. I did do that morning flow and it was beautiful. So I agree with it is spelled Sean.
Well, here's one of my picks, Rebecca Kennedy's 30-minute walk plus run from May 31st. This was just a super fun, and I haven't been doing a lot of just runs, I've been doing a lot of like hikes, walk plus runs. I don't know, I seem to be into more of those, it gives more of a break on my body, but this one was super fun. She played some Stevie Nicks, there was Britney, Madonna, Nicki Minaj, and a lot of times, the playlist really makes or breaks the class. And this one really, kept me engaged. And it was nice because, you do your runs, you'd walk it back, and have your breaks. So it was a nice mix, especially for me, since I'm not a runner.
Huge runner. Well, the next one is mine. It is my one and only for this week, and I was not alone. Pasta lover Amy had also recommended this as their pick of the week, but it was Leanne's Hidden Hills ride. Now, for those of you that know me well and follow me, I despise a hit ride. I have nothing on my graph. My graphs are a complete mess, so I can never show them because I just am terrible at anything that is high intensity training. But it was, as I said earlier in the show, it was her comeback ride for the month of being off. And she started off by saying, I don't have my business bun in, but don't let that fool you. And yeah, she should have had her business bun in. Apparently, she had just had her hair done the day before and she didn't want to mess it. She wanted to kind of keep it. Well, that was very nasty because it was so frigging hard. She had a 9-minute climb in that. Yep, 9 was in there. And I got to tell you, John, brutal. It was brutal. But she does such an incredible job in coordinating the way she does her rides that you just don't feel it. And the music that she played was superb. So she had, Gorgon City with Kingdom. She had David Guetta and Becky Hill with Remember. She threw in some Swedish House Mafia with Don't Go Mad, all the way to Knee Deep in Louise, Cinema with Harry Styles. And she ended that off saying that she is obsessed with Harry Styles at the moment and that new album that just dropped, and that's all she's listening to. And I don't remember Harry's House, and I don't remember which song she said that both her and Ben had in their playlists for that Wednesday. But she said it was so funny because she was coordinating hers and he was coordinating his playlists, and they both had the same song on, and they were like, great minds think alike. Unfortunately, I, for the life of me, cannot remember which was the song, but if you take a look at the playlist, you or go ahead and do the ride, you'll be able to hear it. So definitely one for the books. Amazing ride.
Well, Brian A. submitted Matt Wilper's 30-minute Power Zone ride from Wednesday, June 1st, and said it was tough but rewarding.
All right. And then Ben Aldis, Country Music Lady 229, had recommended his 20-minute chest and back strength, also from Wednesday. It was a 6:30 a.m. Eastern Time class. They said the playlist with bangers and that Josh Hunter track. So maybe that was the one, but no, looking at hers, she didn't have that in there. But that was his 20-minute chest and back.
And I am Kimmy Ho, and Hug Dealer recommended Rebecca Kennedy's 45-minute hiking tread boot camp from June 1st. They said low impact but hard class, love lifting heavy with RK.
That was the first one I missed, and I was so bummed. I had to take my car in for a service, and I just did not get back in time. And I was so bummed.
I had to make the choice between, and I had the option to do this. You know, Jackie was going to give me the tread to do it if I wanted to do that class live, but Alex was teaching at 10 a.m. So I had to either choose the ride or the hike. I went with Alex.
Yeah. Well, you know, I had gotten up in the middle of the night to do that Hidden Hills, but I had gone back to sleep after I was done. And then, of course, woke up and rushed to go and take my car in, and I missed it. But I definitely have bookmarked that to do it this weekend as well. So that's one I love her hiking boot camps. They're amazing.
Yeah. Well, this one is one of my picks, as well as KLK Tag 00. Robin Arzon's 30-minute hip-hop ride from Wednesday, June 1st. A really good throwback of mostly 90s hip-hop. She had Mo Money, Mo Problems in there, Cupid Shuffle, which is, you know, a fun wedding reception song on the dance floor. Rob Bass's It Takes Two. She played some Tribes Called Quest. I was really into the playlist. It's funny because Jackie did this one live with me. She did not like the playlist, which is odd. So to each his own, but I thought it was a solid hip hop ride. Not too difficult, but great tunes.
Awesome. And then we'll end it off. And I am so pleased. Oh, my word. There are so many of you that recommended Logan's premier full body strength from Wednesday. It was his 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And I will give you all a shout out. So let's start. So KJ Hopkins, Ms. Jenke, Mari Erie, S. Neb 23MD, Ashy Ken, SS Lester, 19 Gen H, Nerd and Lace, Natty 9, Dominci, Half Pint Cycling, Bomber Barbecue, Glazed Donut 28, and Have No Regrets. All had sent this one in for their pick of the week. Such an inspiring coach, so inspiring and kick-ass workout, amazing energy, tough energy, new instructor. Impossible means possible. Nothing is impossible. Exceed your own limits. And those were just some of the things that folks had suggested. So I'm really excited to take that one. Again, bookmarked for this. Oh, busy weekend. Yikes, I'm going to have to catch up on all the stuff. But yeah, that is our picks of the week for this week, folks. And I guess, John, that wraps up the show. So it's a quickie this week. There's lots to kind of, throw in there. But I think it was a good week for everybody.
Yeah. Not
All
too
right,
shabby.
so I guess not too shabby. So with that being said, we will wrap it up. Thank you so much, as always, for taking the time to either watch us on YouTube or get to listen to us on your favorite podcast. But we are so appreciative that you do take the time, and hopefully we give you what you need with the news from the week. So from me here in stormy Maryland, bye for now, everybody.
And from me here in Michigan, thank you so much for tuning in. And as always, we will see you on the leaderboard.
Thank you for watching Pelo Buddy TV, your source for everything Peloton, by the community, for the community. Work out with us using the Pelo Buddy TV leaderboard tag, and find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Pelo Buddy. Don't forget that we have a podcast available so that you can listen to us while on the move. Just search for Pelo Buddy TV on any major platform and hit the subscribe button so you never miss an episode.